welcome to Preview. My name is Giampapa. Preview.
And I'm DonLatulippe.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue guy.
Hello and welcome to Preview. My name is Giampapa.
I'm DonLatulippe.
And we're starting our, I believe, 16th season.
Oh my God, is it?
I know, we've been on.
I don't know. I wasn't even born when it started.
Well, I've got some good news for you, for you, Don, and for our audience. We are now online. If you go to www.WalpoleCommunityTelevision.com and click on the first paragraph that comes up, it's called Walpole Community Television Home. Click on that, and then you will see us. There's a box on the right, on the left-hand side, and if you click on Video Gallery, you will see Preview and take it from there. So I want you to know we are now worldwide.
I've told my brother that down in South Carolina.
Yeah.
He saw it.
And he has seen it.
He was very impressed.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
It takes a lot to get him impressed.
It does,
yes.
Huh? Well, I'm glad he saw it. That just verifies the fact that we are online and we are now worldwide.
Well, thanks to the guys here for doing a good job.
They've done a terrific job.
Yeah, they did a marvelous job.
Bob and Peter, right. Well, listen, we have some movies to talk about. Oh, we have a guest. But before we tell you who our guest is, let's talk about movies and theater.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
One of the most talked about books in years is now a major motion picture. It's called The Help and is in theaters now. We call it to your attention because it's a very special film about three very different, extraordinary women in Mississippi during the 1960s who build an unlikely friendship around a secret writing project that breaks the rules of society and puts them at risk. It's deeply moving, filled with poignancy, humor, and hope. The Help is a timeless and universal story about the ability to create change. Here is a preview for those of you who have not seen it. The Help.
We didn't ever think you'd leave Ole Miss.
It does take 4 years, Jolene. I got a job today, writing for the Jackson Journal.
Great. You can write my obituary. Charlotte Phelan, dead. Her daughter, still single.
This dress look handmade.
I reckon when you finish it won't.
Thank you.
She looked like the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby.
I've drafted the Home Health Sanitation Initiative.
The what?
A bill that requires every white home to have a separate bathroom for the Help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
Minnie? Hey, Abilene.
Hey, Minnie. These women raise white children. We love them, and they love us, but they can't even use the toilets in our houses.
Minnie, are you in there?
You are fired! You said to write about what disturbs me, particularly if it bothers no one else. I'd like to write something from the point of view of the Help. I want to interview you.
No maid is ever going to tell you the truth. That's a hell of a risk to take in Jackson, Mississippi.
Courage isn't just about being brave. It's about overcoming fear and daring to do what is right for your fellow man.
What changed your mind?
God and Miss Haley Holbrook.
I'm gonna help with your stories. We all are.
Y'all brought me into this, but I'm gonna finish it.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am, but you about to.
It's quite scandalous. Sounds like Jackson, if you ask me. You tell Abilene.
Do I have plans for her?
You're a godless woman. We're going done in now.
There is magic in the words and lyrics of Rodgers and Hammerstein's beautiful production of The Sound of Music, and it truly shows in the Regal Music Theater's presentation of it. The Regal Music Theater of Boston saluted Rodgers and Hammerstein this summer with a stirring production of Oklahoma in July and a magnificent rendition of The Sound of Music in August. Patrick Cassidy gave us a wonderful interpretation of Captain Von Trapp. This is his first appearance with the Regal, and he most likely will return many times in the future. His co-star, lovely Sarah Pfister, was no stranger to the stage of Regal. Noted for her role as Christine in The Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, Sarah had absolutely no problem portraying Maria. This lovely woman can do no wrong. Jenny Lynn Stewart played the Mother Abbess and proved her talent in a role she played here in 2005. She was nominated for an ERNE that year for Best Supporting Actress. Also in the cast, 7 youngsters playing the 7 children of the Baron. These kids performed admirably, never out of step, and with voices of angels. Jillian Gordon played the eldest child, Liesel. It's no wonder she won an award as Best Youth Performer in 2010. Over the years, 43 to be exact, Regal has brought us some wonderful shows. I would go out on a limb and say The Sound of Music is the best and one Regal should have been proud to have presented. Well, now it's time for our guest.
Great, and a good one, too.
Yes, he's an excellent one. His name is Rob Orchard, and he's the Executive Director of Arts Emerson in Boston, and he's here now, and he's going to tell us all about the exciting 2011-2012 theater season. Welcome to our show, Rob.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you were able to make it.
I didn't have any trouble getting here. Your directions were spectacular.
Exactly. Oh, good, good. Well, now, you did a presentation at the Paramount Theater back in, I think it was June or July.
Right.
And you explained to the people there about the new season. And we thought, gee, this is an excellent idea for you to come on television and explain it to a larger amount of viewers.
Sure.
So let's get right into it.
Well, Arts Emerson is new in and of itself.
That's right.
We just completed our first season.
Right, you're going into your second season now.
It came about because of the opening of 4 theaters in downtown Boston in the theater district that were renovated by Emerson College, and I was brought on to program these spaces. So we're newbies, but we finished our first season, and we're about to open next week our second season. We're doing 18 projects.
Wow.
The organization is called Arts Emerson, The World on Stage. So we're bringing work to Boston from all corners of the planet, international work as well as work from elsewhere in this country. Work that, were it not for these 4 new theaters, you probably wouldn't ever have a chance to see in Boston. So new theaters, new cultural opportunities, and work from different places around the world.
Why don't you name the theaters?
Yeah.
So the theater is the Cutler Majestic Theater, which is a beautiful space, 1903 little Beaux Arts opera house that took 11 years to restore. And then the Paramount Center, which is a new complex that opened last September, has 3 theaters in it.
3? Okay.
A screening room, the Bright Family Screening Room, which we program on the weekends. Wonderful little cinema. And then what we call a black box theater. It's named after Emerson's long and incredibly dynamic president, Jackie Liebergott. It's now called the Liebergott Black Box Theater. And a black box theater is just a big, huge room that you can arrange in different ways. The relationship between the performer and the audience can shift depending upon what the artists want to do. And that can seat maybe up to 175. And then the Paramount main stage, which is 600 seats, which is this beautiful Art Deco. I call it Deco squared. It is beyond Deco. It's just incredibly, beautifully detailed. So those are the 4 theaters, the 3 in the Paramount Center and the Cutler Majestic Theater. And they're all operating now under this umbrella called Arts Emerson, The World on Stage.
Oh, marvelous.
And we're opening with a project in the Jackie Liebergott Black Box next week. And then Laurie Anderson is coming soon thereafter. John Malkovich will be with us at the end of the month, bringing a group from Kuwait, a theater company that's populated with great artists from throughout the Middle East. Doing a new musical by Alfred Urey and Martha Clark, the choreographer, based on the Shakers. It's called Angel Reapers, and it uses original Shaker songs as the music.
Not shake, shake, shake your booty.
No.
Well, come see. Maybe you could read that into it. And then a variety of projects that extend further into the middle of the spring. I think we'll end probably around the latter part of April and early May. I'm doing an adaptation of Dollhouse, Ibsen's Dollhouse, by a wonderful director by the name of Lee Brewer. It's just traveled all over the world. It's won awards at major festivals in Edinburgh and Hong Kong. And as you may know, the play is a Victorian play about the power of the sexes.
Right.
And it was at a time when women were very much subjugated. And the women in this particular production are all over 6 feet tall, and the men are all under 5 feet tall. So
under 5 feet
tall?
So
you have
isn't that interesting?
You have this sort of weird juxtaposition of a metaphor of a tall woman in a Victorian environment, and a very powerful but very short man.
How's the weather up there?
And there's a lot of interplay, as you can imagine, that is taken. We're able to take advantage of because of the disparity in height. The environment, the living room, is sized to the men, making the world in which the women live that much more uncomfortable for them. Yeah. And then it's a very famous play because at the end she finally. Well, I don't want to spoil for people, but it's a great moment of liberation.
Tell us about your student involvement.
Well, the students at Emerson are an incredibly creative group of people.
Well, they wouldn't be there if they weren't.
No, because the college is a college of arts and communications, and the performing arts division, or department, if you will, within the School of the Arts is one of the largest in the college. We have over 400 drama majors.
Wow.
And they are involved behind the scenes, helping to develop work in process, because we're doing a lot of developmental work as well as presenting work formally to the public. The Paramount Center has, in addition to those 3 theaters that I described, 9 rehearsal studios, a Hollywood sound stage, a scene shop. It goes on and on and on. So we're bringing artists into the community to develop their work over time, as well as to present their work. So the students are involved in the developmental process. They're involved in helping to provide the support and the hospitality for the artists when they come in. And then, of course, they have the opportunity to engage with them, to talk to them, to learn from them.
What if you had a student that was, and I'm sure you do, exceptional, and would fit a certain part in a certain play beautifully?
Right.
What would you do?
Well, we've done that. We've cast students in plays, absolutely.
That's
when a new play calls for a younger person, we have a whole fantastic.
You have casting right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's a great.
And there's no resentment with other students and all that.
Well, when you audition, for a single role, it's usually true that one person winds up getting that role. That's right.
That's part of life.
It's part. I mean, the acting profession is full of rejection, as you probably know.
Oh, absolutely.
So
radio is too.
I'm sure it is. And we all have our share of that in whatever profession we're in. But the students also are makers. You can tell that they're artists. There's a wonderful sort of idiosyncrasy to the Emerson students. They're down in the world working and making art. They can study it theoretically, they can do all that too, but they're really interested in making it. So when I bring Peter Brook here from Paris, or the Abbey Theatre or the Druid Theatre, which we did last year, or Robert Lepage from Montreal. Lepage is doing the new Ring Cycle at the Metropolitan Opera now.
No kidding.
These are seminal figures in the world of theater that our students have an opportunity to meet, and these artists gain a lot of inspiration from the students. I mean, what artist would not want to be in a room of creative young people?
Oh, absolutely.
It's what keeps you young. So there's a great kind of mutual benefit that comes from that.
I wouldn't know. I'm not that old.
Well, eventually you'll find out.
Yes. Oh, I think that's marvelous.
Yeah. No, it's a great situation. Totally.
Emerson, I have to give accolades to Emerson. I mean, really, they have done in Boston. They've saved theaters for one thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of the theaters you mentioned, we've talked about this, would have been torn down.
Right.
There were people frothing with parking spaces for sale for the theaters. The Wilbur's, one of them, for instance.
Yes.
That was almost ready to go into a parking lot.
It's a beautiful theater.
And it's a beautiful, intimate theater.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I was so worried about some of the theaters that were dark all the time.
Right.
And when I was a teenager, in the old days, it was the lights were always on Washington Street and the side streets and so forth, Boylston. Then they went dark for a long time.
Right.
And the theater, like the Metropolitan as it was in my day, now the Music Hall, and now the Wang Center, it went into disrepair. It needed a bigger stage, and it needed a new roof.
Right. Right.
And boy, I'll tell you, when that was done, I remember the Met going there, the Met Opera,
sure.
and it was too small.
Yeah.
They had to stop coming to Boston.
Right.
You know, so accolades to Emerson.